Namaste to all. These shlokas of Srimad Bhagavad Gita are extremely wonderful. I like them the most. These are from second chapter where Sri Krishna gives the Brahma Vidya, he gives the reality, he gives the truth about the eternity of the souls. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadhipaha Nachaiva na bhavishyamah sarve vayam atah param. So Sri Krishna is saying to Arjuna that there was never a time aham jatuna asam, that there was never a time that I was not there. Tvamna, also there was never a time you were not there. Ime janadipaha, and also there was never a time where these kings were also not there. That means these kings were always there, I was always there, and you were also always there. And also na eva atah param vayam sarve na bhavishyamah. Not only in the past, even in the future there won't be a time where that I will not exist, or there won't be a time where you will not exist, or there won't be a time where these kings will not exist. So he is affirming that me, you, every one of the souls in this universe will continue to ever exist. We existed, we are existing, and we will continue to exist. This is a very beautiful shloka. Not only this shloka, the coming shlokas also, which again and again reaffirms the presence of Jivatma, and Jivatma is eternal. Sri Krishna confirms, Dehino asmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. Never be attached to this body. Dehinaha. Dehina means Jivatma. The soul is Dehina because the soul resides in the Deha. Dehina means that which is residing inside the Deha. That is the Jivatma. Asmin Dehe, inside this body. Asmin Dehe Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara. Kaumaram means kid. Yauvanam means adulthood. Jara means the old age. So the deha is the deha, the sharir is moving from stage to stage. Asmin dehe dehinaha, but Jivatma does not move from stage to stage. That's why tata dehantara praptihi. So that's why, when this body is not there, when the soul goes to another body, dhiraha tatra na muhyati. What is the meaning of soul going to another body? The soul going to another body means death. You are dying and your soul will go to another body. And when your soul goes to another body, dhiraha tatra na muhyati. In that action of moving, the Jivatma moving from one soul to another, one body to another body, the dhir purusha na muhyati, they never gets into attachment, because they know that the Jivatma is constant inside the body. The body is changing the forms. It took a birth as a child, and it is growing and is growing and is growing, and it will die and it will go into another body. So the Dhir Purush, the Tapasvis, will not ever get attachment towards the body. Dhiraha tatra na muhyati. No attachment for them. You are attached. You are attached to Bhishma Pitamaha. You are attached not to Bhishma Pitamaha, you are attached to the body of Bhishma Pitamaha. But I am not attached. I like Bhishma Pitamaha so much, but I am not attached. Because I am a Dhir Purush and you are not Arjun. Matras parshastu kaunteya shitoshanas sukha dukhadaha agamapayino anityastan stitikshasva bharata. Here Sri Krishna is giving a very important quality of titiksha. If you remember, I made a videos, I think 3 to 4 times. The same topic I repeated in the last 4 years. One of the quality that a sadhak needs in our life, like I am a sadhak, I need this quality in my life. If you are a sadhak, you need this quality in the life is titiksha. Titiksha means sehan karna, bearing the pain. You must bear the pain because Sri Krishna is giving a Brahma Vidya knowledge here. He says, Shitoshana Sukha Dukkadaha Agama Painaha Anityaha. Agama Paina means it comes and goes. Shita, the seasons. Shita means the winter season. Ushna means the summer season. Like the season comes and goes, these are anitya. So he says, Matra Sparshastu. Matra Sparshastu means the Indriya, your senses, your mind, your intellect, your karmendriya, it gets contact with the objects. For example, eye is getting contact with the object of its senses, object of the eye. The ears cannot see, the eyes cannot hear, because the eyes has the contact with its object only. So he says, hey Arjuna, because of the contact of the senses, you are able to understand this is summer season. Your senses are getting contact with the heat wave. Similarly, your senses are getting contact with the cold wave in the winter season. So he says, try to be you. Your body is different and you are different. He told in the previous sloka. Here he says, try to understand that it's your body which is getting into contact with the heat and cold, and you are the witness of it. You are, of course, you are the enjoyer of the cold, you are the enjoyer of the heat, etc., etc. But he says these are like seasons. It comes and goes, anityaha. So why are you getting into attachment? So definitely you must unko titikshasva bharata. Hey Arjuna, try to have forbearance, try to have titiksha in your life. Just like seasons are coming and going, your senses are in touch with the seasons, and you are experiencing pleasure, you are experiencing heat, you are experiencing pain, you are experiencing cold, etc., etc. It comes and goes, it is anitya, it's not permanent. If you are feeling extremely hot, it's June, now it is June, 50 degrees in some places, 45 degrees in some places. Sri Krishna says, try to bear it, it will go. December will come, it will become cold. Try to bear the cold, it will again go. These are anitya. When you try to bear the heat and cold, similarly when you try to bear the pleasure and pain, when you try to bear the insult of others, and somebody is insulting you, somebody is torturing you, try to bear it. Try to bear it to the best of your capabilities. Advice of Sri Krishna. Why we must bear it? Yam hina vayattayanta yete purusham purusharshava samadukka sukham dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. When you have this quality of titiksha, only when you have this quality, that you are able to bear the pleasures and pains equally, you are able to bear the heat and cold equally, you are able to bear the gain and loss equally. Amritatvaya kalpate. Only that person can attain moksha. He is the one person who is eligible to attain moksha. Otherwise, you can never become a dhir purusha. See, the previous shloka he said, dhiraha tatra na muhyati. In the next two shlokas he is opening up who can be a dhira. The person who can be a dhira can be a person who is able to bear the loss, is able to bear the pain, is able to bear the heat and cold. That person can do tapasya. My Acharya always says, now I am sitting in Siddhasan, it's paining. I am sitting for let's say 10 minutes. Before that I was doing havan. So 25-30 minutes I am sitting like this, it's paining. My Acharya always says, you must bear the pain. Try to increase the bearing capacity. That means you are able to sit for 10 minutes in a day. Try to increase it to 20 minutes over the next 6 months. After the 6 months, try to increase to 1 hour. Maybe not 6 months, maybe 6 years. If you are able to sit for 1 hour continuously in one asana, even after 6 years of tapasya, you will be able to achieve the stage of dharana. You will be able to achieve the stage of enjoying the name japa of Almighty God, my Acharya always says. So because we must bear the pain, that's what Sri Krishna says. That person can become a yogi. Further, Sri Krishna says one of the most commendable shloka in the whole of the Bhagavad Gita. Really wonderful shloka. And I love this shloka. My Acharya loves this shloka. He always quotes this shloka. Na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satah uvayorapi drishto antastavannayoho tattvadarshibhihi. Na sato vidyate bhavo. You see here, na sato asatah na vidyate bhavo na bhavah vidyate. Asatah means asatya padarth. Whatever is asatya, na bhavah vidyate. They are not eternal. What is not eternal? The definition of non-eternal is that which is not truth. If there is something called as truth, it will be eternal. Rest all the things are non-eternal. He gives the definition of what is truth and what is false. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. Satah abhavah na vidyate. If something is truth, it will never disappear. If something is false, it will never continue to exist forever. Please understand. If something is truth, it will never disappear. If something is false, it will never continue to exist forever. But the problem with the Vedantists, the Neo-Vedantists, especially Swami Sarvapriyananda, whom I normally listen many times, to understand where he is doing mistake. He is totally misunderstanding this shloka. He says, asatah na bhavah vidyate. He explains this as there is not, the falsehood does not exist. Only truth exists. There is no falsehood. That means this universe is false. The universe does not exist. You only exist. You are the truth. You are the Almighty God. He misinterprets. Here, Sri Krishna is trying to give the knowledge of Jivatma. He is not giving the knowledge of Paramatma in this shloka. Also, we can take for Paramatma, but I'll tell you because it's the context is Jivatma. He is telling about soul. He is telling about attachment, detachment, etc. for soul. Of course, Almighty God does not have attachment, detachment. So he is explaining that soul is the truth. Body is not the truth. Body is not the truth does not mean that body does not exist. Body does exist. We are seeing the body. I am touching my body. I am breathing the air. I am able to smell the air. Like, I just did the havan. The homa kunda is here. It's just, I am feeling the smell of the homa. My body exists, but this is not eternal. This is asatah na bhava vidyate. The body will die one day, the soul will not die. The soul is eternal truth, is what Sri Krishna says. And he confirms ubhayo, both the truth and untruth. Ubhayo means both. Api, both of them have been realized by drishto. By realized, drishta means to see, to realize. Antaha means most closely. Who? Tattvadarshibhihi. The yogis, the Dhir Purusha, the Rishi, the Munis, they have closely realized the truth and falsehood. They know that this body is not going to exist. That is why they never come into attachment. Please go back to the previous shloka. Dhiraha tatra na muhyati. How they are not able to get attachment? Because of this shloka also, or because of the previous shloka also, because of titiksha also. So the first and foremost character which we must develop, we must try to build inside us is titiksha, forbearance from the pain, from the pleasure. If somebody is giving us pleasure, we'll try to understand that this pleasure is going to be for very few moments. This pleasure will go away and it will pull me into dukkha. If somebody is giving you pain, try to understand this pain will go away. And if I am in pain, if I am in dukkha, then I will get grabbed into a way where I cannot do sadhana. So try to bear the pain, try to bear the pleasure, try to bear the gain and loss, etc. etc. This is a beautiful shloka. And the next shloka, you see, this shloka I have not explained so far. I don't know if my camera battery will sustain, but I am trying. I don't know. But let's see. If it is sustainable, it's good. Avinashi tu tat vidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham avyayasya na kaschit kartum arhati. See, very, very important shloka. This shloka is grossly misinterpreted by all the authors except my Acharya, I would say proudly, because the other authors have written that soul is omnipresent inside the body. Because the word used is sarvam idam tatam. Sarvam idam means they have told that the soul is omnipresent in the body. The soul is not omnipresent inside the body. The soul resides at one particular point when we are alive. When I am awake, it is in one point. When I am sleeping, it's another point. It's not everywhere in the body. So that's why this shloka we must understand in a different perspective. Sri Krishna is trying to say that whatever you are seeing in this universe is because of human activity. See the amount of growth, how much vast expansion human beings have done. They have built buildings, they have built flyovers, they have built so much of structural things, growth everywhere. And they have built technology. So that's what Sri Krishna says. The soul is not destructible, but please understand, whatever we are seeing, sarvamidam, whatever we are seeing expansion in this universe, soul has a desire to develop the world. When you have human beings, they will go out and develop languages, they will develop different cultures, they will develop different religions, maybe because of illusion. They will develop different technology, they will develop different type of objects for sensual pleasures. But understand, Avinashi, that soul, even though whatever expansion it can do, whatever desire it can do, none of the weapons can destroy it. Kaschit na arhati vinasham kartum. Nobody can dare to destroy that soul. Even Almighty God cannot destroy the soul. But soul has an intrinsic nature that it expands the universe. The soul comes into the human being, takes birth as an Einstein or a Newton or some scientist or some human being or Abdul Kalam, they will, or Elon Musk, they will try to expand whatever possible. Even in your case, if you are doing a business, if I am working in a company, I will try my best possible to expand my knowledge. I will try to develop something new, some new idea to help the people. So much of advancement in agriculture, so much of advancement in manufacturing, so much of advancement in automobile, so much of advancement in mobile technology, camera technology, speaker. See the development. So he says, Yena idam sarvam jisuse tatam asya avyayam. Who is expanding this, all this who is doing all this activity is Jivatma. But the Jivatma is indestructible. But Jivatma expands the universe and gets stuck inside the universe because of its desire. My Acharya has written that Isi icha bhav ko tatam kehte hain. This sloka has the word called tatam. Icha bhav, the desire to expand, the desire to own something, the desire to control something, the desire for materialistic pleasures. This is called the tatam in this shloka. So these are some of the important quality of soul. And lastly, there are so many shlokas, I'll try to conclude here because my battery is dying out. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmad yuddhasya bharata. So that is why you must do yuddha. Tasmad yuddhasya bharata. Why you must do yuddha? Because this soul is indestructible. Because Dhir Purusha does not get into moha. You are in moha. You are in attachment. I am not in attachment. And anashinaha aprameyasya. This soul, what is that soul cannot be known by aprameyasya, by our buddhi, by our intellect. And this soul is anashinaha, indestructible. However, this body is destructible. Body is destructible. Do yuddha. Even if you do not do yuddha, they will do adharma and they will die off. So you kill the adharmis. And then he says, Nityasya, the soul is Nitya. Your Bhishma Pitamaha cannot be dead. He will always be alive, just like I am alive, you were alive, the kings were alive, your Bhishma will also be alive always. So, but do the Yuddha, either win the war or get yourself killed. I am fine with that. You die in the war, I am fine with that. But do not escape from the war. Tasmat Yudyasva Bharata, Yuddh karo. So this is and this soul cannot be known by intellect. Whatever explanation I can give you, you cannot understand what is soul. You can experience your soul only in samadhi. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.